All right. It's that time. It's time for Beyond Sight and Sound. Let's do this.
Hey boys and girls, we are going to talk about S&W shooters and prospectors. What is S&W shooters and prospectors?
We at S&W Shooters and Prospectors help people find treasure.
Did you say treasure?
Yes, treasure. Just listen to this amazing review from our happy customer, Jackie Sparrow.
Chocolate ship shape and a pleasure to deal with. I was able to buy everything that I needed at prices that were shillings less than others. I found my 9 pieces of meat in no time. Savvy?
I know you're asking yourself, why should I shop at S&W Shooter and Prospectors?
Chuck Smalley has over 45 years of metal detecting experience. He works with each customer one-on-one to customize their setup to match their skill level.
So if you always dreamt of being a pirate, contact Chuck at S&W Shooters and Prospectors and he'll take a great deal for you.
Eye patch and rum not included.
Caution. Please do not operate motor vehicles or power equipment while under the influence of this show. Listening to this show could cause side effects such as bouts of laughter, violent binges of cabin fever, and even dreams of silver and gold. Please be advised. Now that the fine print is out of the way, on with the show.
All right. We're back. We're live once again. It's been a minute. But we're back. Oh, I see everybody dropping into the chat too. Hopefully the audio sounds okay. I think it should be fine. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Come in, got ready to go live, fired up the computer. I'm logged out of the hosting service for the stream. I'm logged out of Facebook. I'm logged out of YouTube. Trying to get back into everything in time. YouTube obviously wants to do a 2-step verification. It's a wonder Facebook didn't want to draw blood or something. Ugh. Pain in the rear. That's all I can say. But hey, on the bright side, I know it didn't last Wednesday, and I know it didn't this Sunday when he was over on GPS, but tonight, Chuck's camera is working. How's it going, Chuck?
Good so far. Camera's working. That update worked. The rest of the updates I got to finish up on.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show some of these people, they listen to some of the shows and everything. It just goes to show none of us are immune to technical snafus.
Oh, the show the other night with the prospecting group, they did a Zoom, and I don't have Zoom on this particular computer. They sent a link,
Prepared.
downloaded, so I just bypassed and all it could. They had me voice, but they couldn't, video wasn't there. They didn't need to see me.
I must say, for those who didn't catch it, they should go back and watch it. We did post the YouTube archive on the Beyond Sight and Sound page and my timeline and the Beyond Sight and Sound group, as well as the link to where they were also broadcasting on Spreaker, since they are still on Spreaker for the time being. But for those who didn't catch it, they need to go back and catch it, because once again, excellent stories as usual, and your audio was very good.
Good. That was working. Yeah. So yeah, we got a crew in there finally, and there's big news, I think, floating around the internet there. Saw a picture of a looked like possibly a cut piece of 8. Thickness would tell me more, but that's
right.
cool.
And maybe we can get confirmation in the chat from Bill Hayes.
The DS2 was working. They love those things.
But for people who don't realize or haven't heard, give a big congratulations out to Bill Hayes on his bucket lister. You can find it on his timeline. You can find it on Bill Marsh's timeline. I believe that is a public post, so you do not have to have them on your friends list to see that.
Okay. Or it just said it's really thick, so that gives it the piece of 8.
Yep. It's an 8.
They cut them, you can't always quite tell. That's cool. That's very cool. And the old saying, 2 bits, 4 bits, 6 bits a dollar. You got you're on your way to finding 7 more.
Yep. And I am most certain he was looking to see if it had friends, and it would not surprise me if he goes back and continues his search, his quest for a friend.
Yep. Good job. Those type of things are the most memorable finds that you get.
Right.
And you can walk right back to that spot 5 years from now and say, this is where it's at. That's where I got it.
Oh, yeah. I'll bet you he could stand right on that spot. And, these finds, they're few and far between sometimes. I want to say Bill Hayes has hunted probably 45, maybe even more years. And he finally found one today.
Yep.
So you can see, they've got pictures, they've got a short little video clip, because Ohio Relic Hunter knew that Bill Hayes had something good for him to be reacting the way that he was, because Bill's been doing this quite a while. It takes something good to really get him excited, and that lit a fire today. He was getting a schoolboy.
I've never found a cut one. That's cool.
Yes, it is. And Ohio Relic Hunter called me this afternoon, and he says, hey, I know I don't normally do this, but I tagged you in a post, and believe me, it's worthy of tagging you. You're going to want to check it out.
Right. Yeah. And some of you may not know what we're talking about. He found a cut quarter of a piece of 8, or of a, 8 real. So that's cool. Right. And I triangle, I was told the field that they're working, they've hunted it for years and years, and he caught it.
Yep. They've made many nice finds over the years. They've pulled a lot of finds out of the area. They've also pulled a lot of iron out of the area. This place is it's very infested with iron, and I would have to put money on it. That's why he found it today, is because ground conditions are so dry. Moisture isn't enhancing the conductivity, which means it's not enhancing the iron halo.
Right. Button Foundation started hunting in 2014. And he's been there, he says, thousands of times. So,
And that's not an understatement.
okay.
They have been over this area, multiple hunters, multiple machines, multiple coils.
Cool.
So kudos and congratulations to Bill on his. I mean, Phil's always saying, find a bucket lister.
He did.
Asking if anybody found anything cool. Well, here you go.
So you always remember. I was very fortunate a couple times to find some pretty cool stuff like that. Those finds, coin spill with a $1, a $2, an 1823 bust half, and an 1840 dime, all in the same hole. So
one heck of a coin.
I can take you right to the house, the yard I found it in, and walk you right to the spot right now today. You never you never forget things like that.
No, not at all. And how long ago did you find that?
That find was done with an SE Pro, probably, 16 years ago. Even maybe a little longer, maybe 17. The E-Track wasn't out yet.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah, clearly if you were running an SE Pro.
I got $1 with my E-Track in a same general area, but not the same yard. And I got an $8 with a CTX 3030 in a field.
Nice.
So,
and I don't know if anybody had asked.
They come and you get a couple things right away. Bang, bang. So get back out there tomorrow and hit it again, Bill.
Yeah.
You're on a roll. Yeah. Get out there and hit it again.
And maybe even the day after that, and the day after that, and next week too.
Yep. That's cool. And I'm quite sure freshly picked. Now, I don't know if they do out there what they do here. They come right in with a chisel plow and a disc right after picking. So, and they aren't deep rutted. You can walk those fields. I don't know if they did that there, but I'd be hitting it real hard right now.
And I don't know if anybody had asked or not, but that was found with the D2.
Yep.
And maybe Bill can put in the chat what it rang up as on the D2. Yeah. I'm not
buddy, that's awesome.
Not sure I've heard.
Yeah. Well, and
quite honestly, I'm not even sure if Bill could tell you what it rang up as. He was probably so excited.
He just told me it's a home site in the woods.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. It is in the woods.
Very cool. There's got to be more there.
Oh, yeah. And now is definitely the time to be hitting it. They were both surprised at the number of targets that were showing up. But like I said, that's a direct reflection on the lack of moisture that we do have. It's not enhancing that iron halo, so it's not masking those
Right.
targets.
You said it rang an 88 on the dais. Is that in the dime range, or is that above dime range on that?
I
Interesting.
want to say that's right there in the dime range.
Yeah.
That's assuming that the D2's VDI is similar to the first gen Deus. Because I've not had
He was
the
using
opportunity.
AS2 and high HC program rang up 88.
Nice.
Yep, it's in the cut 8 range, LOL.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, there's other Deus guys out there going, ooh, somewhere, I'm sure. And yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Fantastic.
Yeah, good stuff. And
on that program, it's a little below dime. It's 90 to 93 for dime, so he's just a hair under it.
oh well,
He probably had it in his mind he was on some silver.
right.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, if I think he might have mentioned he was running a high frequency, and that would tend to drive the number up a little higher. So
And
I did factor that in.
speaking of fines, I watched a quick hitter that KG put up on the Vortec, and what they were setting it up as and using it, and it's got a pull tab reject type mode in it, or pull tab bottle cap. Yep. And they were showing a lot of the screen and the reasons for the delay. They aren't in dealers' hands yet at all. A few of them went out as prizes, and some of their Garrett folks in England and KG and Ringy and a couple others US, they've got them through the field testing mode. So we're getting close to seeing that unit out.
Yeah,
Dennis, I found a 42 Washington. Dennis found a 43. Yes, we want to hear about it. Yes. If you're finding silver, it's silver. It's just how old it is.
right. Yeah. I mean, silver's silver. I don't care if you found a silver ring, a silver quarter, or a cut 8. We want to hear about it.
I mean, I've been out. I got a Merc 42 quarter, bunch of Wheaties on one outing. Wheaties, Shield nickel, a really hashed out Indian head. I had to barely see about 5 feather tips on the headdress. It's really ate up there. And odds and ends. And I did find a part of a pendant that has a diamond in it, but unfortunately the diamond is not real, but it could be white gold. Just a little tiny thing out in the field. So, oh, Emery got his first seated dime last Saturday.
Hey, there you go. Good job, Emery.
Must be liking that MANTICORE. Maybe you got it with a 900. I don't know which.
I guess there's been a few people in the chat that hit bucket listers.
Cool. Yep. Got a first seated dime.
And if I remember correctly, Emery bought his MANTICORE off of you.
Yes, he did. And he got the whole group of coils. So,
see, that's what we like to see. Customers succeeding out in the field.
Yes, we do. Yep. And Shannon found a 1918 dog tag. She says it's silver in color.
Right?
Yep.
And I want to say that for their county, that was the first year issue dog tag.
Wow. You got some
So,
history.
oh,
You got some history in your hand there, Shannon.
yeah, absolutely.
Henry Dime was in 1856, Josh.
Nice.
Cool, guys.
A lot of people don't realize, but the dog tags they can be highly collectible too.
Right. Yes, they are. Yep.
Matter of fact, I got a call from Phil the other night, a Sunday night actually, just as they were trying to bring you into the show. I think you were still muted at that point somehow. And he was telling me about that dog tag, and he's like, yeah, there's some guy, I don't know, out in Oregon, I think maybe, that he collects them. And I'm going, yeah, you're talking about Neil McElroy. We've had him on the show. There's a lot of information about dog tags. You'd be surprised.
Yep, he's. I remember him on the show before.
Oh yeah,
yeah. The ones they're really after are pre
1900.
Yep. Those things, all of a sudden it's cha-ching. That's cool.
Oh yeah. I mean, you find one that's pre 1900, all of a sudden people's wallets start to open.
Yep. I found that out on some tokens a while back. So.
Oh yeah. And in terms of dog tags, I mean, you get one that's pre 1900, you're in the tall grass now. I mean, people are more than willing to pay good money for those.
You betcha. Now, here's a question. I'll put it out to the group. How many of you consider selling your silver gold finds right now with the current prices?
I have thought about it very seriously myself.
Yeah. Silver broke that $32 barrier. Pretty big time. Went up 35.
Yeah, I mean, that was big news. And gold's
in the 1,700 and something range. It took a little hit today, a little profit taken.
No, you mean 2,700 and something?
Excuse me, 2,700. Yeah, I mean that's phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean that puts a gram at probably right around $85-$90.
Yep. Why? And I'm seeing the answers. ORH won't sell Doug silver. Not me, Janet says. Jason, no. Shannon, it's my treasure. ORH, you won't get much out of a TREME. Depends upon the date of that TREME. If it's an 1866, look that one up.
Right.
So I have sold silver and gold in the past, mostly common date, Roosevelt, 64 and earlier, late date Mercury's, the 40s.
Right.
Washington quarters, except for I found 132p. I kept it. So gold spot is 87.38 a gram right now. And a gram of gold is tiny.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason why I brought this up over, I don't know if it was Money Metals Exchange, one of the coin outfits is selling gold by the gram from Nome, Alaska, off the Iroka you can buy, I think, a 5 and 10 gram, and they're getting right at the $90 range a gram. And it's got a little certificate that they found it on the Oroka dredge and this kind of stuff. I've sold fine gold and small gold online in the past when I come back. You sell it. It's a commodity. Now the nicer stuff I haven't sold too much of. Now I've traded certain things that a dealer and I were great friends and did a lot together for many years. And he'd want something I'd found, and he'd sweeten the pot with nice Morgan dollars from time to time. And some of the tokens I traded to a token guy. He would trade silver, dollars, halves, that kind of stuff. So, there's always something coming and going on this stuff. Because currently I've got, the last time I sold was when it spiked in 2011 to a private guy, dealer, not a dealer, excuse me, a private collector. And he bought about $3,800 to $4,000 worth of silver from me. That was all dug.
Nice
stuff. So you can't take it with you.
Right. But yeah, I've been mulling the idea around myself, and the higher that price gets, the more seriously I think about it. But I think one of the big things that is driving the price right now is the current state of the country. So if people are thinking of selling, they may want to sell soon, because come November, that price could dip back down.
Right. Oh yeah, if it goes mega, it might not happen right then and there, but it will start going.
But it will happen
as if world unrest comes down. And yeah, I've seen that, Jason. I've seen that sign that says "Save the Democracy." We are not a democracy. We are a republic, and people need to read that. There is not a state constitution that's written as a democracy. We are.
Well, and if people stop and think about it, think about the Pledge of Allegiance.
That's right. So, but anyway, getting back to what we're saying, Janet says you can leave it to your children and they collect it. Yeah, and that's tongue in cheek, isn't it?
Or they could sell it, and now they're taking a trip that you could have taken.
Or pay off a bill or repair something in the house. I've literally done that. One other time I'd sold a bunch of silver off and took the master bathroom and redid it. And Jill wanted heated floor. She got heated floor, brand new shower, all new fixtures, everything. And it was all done with money I metal detected.
There you go. And I got a lot of projects going on right now. That's why it's very tempting.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, you said you can't take it with you.
Nope. I mean, let's go back to when I was in my 30s. I was kind of holding on to stuff a little harder. I was finding gold, and then got into the 40s. Well, I need this done, that done. This is spare change. I'll sell that. I did, and I will put it to use and that kind of stuff. And, and I still have all the silver dollars that I traded for. And even with that, they're getting up, doing very well also with the push on them. They may go bye-bye. Like I said, the kid ain't going to throw in my casket, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you do have a point.
Yeah. Yep. So, it's individual choice. So,
Oh yeah, but it is something to give some serious
if
thought.
you are planning on selling, you're right in the heart of the time to do it. It's probably now, getting close. So, if they will give you good price for it,
Right.
yeah, they're selling what they're called junk silver now, not constitutional silver. They call it junk silver, our coinage, our early coinage, and they're selling that pretty cheap. They aren't taking a high spot for it. So
Yep.
just wondered what you would do.
It's something to think about.
Yep. Yeah.
And,
Could be, Phil.
I mean, I've got a few gold rings laying around that it's like, I don't really need these.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, they look nice in a display case, but really, how many can you display?
I've seen display cases that are just packed with rings. Man.
Oh yeah, so have I.
And it's like,
But
well, I'm going to leave them to my kids. They're going to enjoy them as they sell them off. I'll guarantee you.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what I'm thinking is, well, do I need this gold jewelry on display? Maybe not. Maybe I should think about selling it.
Yeah. With as high as it is right now, it's pretty tempting.
Absolutely. I agree.
It's tempting for everybody.
Yeah. Yep. But I think right now we're all kind of torn. Do
Yeah.
we? Don't we? I don't know.
But looking back, there's only been one or two times that I sold something off or traded. And I kind of I wished I'd held that a little longer, but that's all right. It's gone. I did all right. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. You just got to stop and think, well, was I satisfied with the price I got out of it? Or was I able to do what I was attempting to by selling it? Well, at that point, you got a good price.
Right. In fact, I just got a call from a friend of mine. His mom had passed away, and he said, I found a big box of old coins. Would you go through them with me? So I'm going to go down there and go through her coin collection. And I don't know if Gary will keep them or not, but we'll see how that goes.
Right. Yeah. See how it goes, and condolences to him and his family.
Yeah, it's been about a month, and he just messaged me last night. I told him yes, I would. He hadn't got back with me, so I'm going to go take a look at that. I don't know what he's got or how much.
Well, I mean, sometimes it when you have an unfortunate circumstance like a death in the family like that, it takes a while for this stuff to surface. They may not have known about it and they just stumbled across it, or maybe they did know about it but they weren't sure whatever happened to it. Something like that.
Yep. Okay, Janet, to answer your question on junk silver, that they used to call it constitutional or circulated pre-64 coinage. Now they call it junk silver because it's 90%. It's been circulated. It's not necessarily slick, but they were well circulated. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily junk, but with better examples out there on the market that people can get a hold of, they may not necessarily be interested in these.
Mhm.
Makes good filler in an album.
Right. Right. But I hope you all find the bucket listers. I've got my best coinage put in the holders. I've actually got a couple that were sent in, just a couple that I had graded. And one came back, they got EV stamp on it at a fine. Was it fine? That one was fine. And the other one has an AU grade on it with no EV on it. So,
And that was Doug.
yeah,
Nice. Good job.
I didn't tag it with an EV. I figured it'd be EV. I knew the detail. It's a Stand and Liberty quarter, and I knew the detail was there, and it was dark, but it didn't have the EV on it. So I don't know. That was PCGS. I've only done a couple, and they get $40 a pop unless you're a member. And then you got to buy the membership. So,
right.
But they do have specials, and if you happen to be in an area where a big show is at, you can deal with them right at a table. And they'll take it and give you discounts and this kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Barb brought something up about a gold coin fake find posted. A replica coin, Barb, or we had a problem over in England this year. I didn't find any of them, and we didn't, but somebody had went to Fields and put replica Roman coins out all over the place. They're good fakes. And people were digging them, and then they found out they were replica. They went and messed up Fields with them.
Right. And I think she may be referring to the story that was on Detect America Monday.
Okay.
From a recent hunt over there with Butch Holcomb and some of his crew.
Okay. Jason asked you, Josh, if you got to read some of the bad reviews on Treasure Fest 7's hunt. Some of those hunters are left rather angry.
I did not get the chance to read any of the reviews, but I have heard some stories through the grapevine, and it sounds like this one was not organized the way the past ones have been, and there were enough people that left early and left angry that swear they'll never go back to one that
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they can recover. And I don't know what the reasoning is. I don't
It
know
doesn't take much of that to hurt you bad.
administration or what the case was.
Yeah. Mark Hoover put a post up, and of course Mark put a nice post up about
Right.
it. But Mark hangs with all the Garrett guys and Gary Penta. They're a group, and
Right.
so even that.
Right. If even half of the stories I've heard were anywhere near accurate, and I have no reason to believe that they weren't,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't look good for the next Treasure Fest.
Well, and Shannon brings a point up. I see that every year from that hunt. Never went, but too expensive for me, I think. Shannon, if I go down as a dealer, if I set up as a dealer and go down, get set up day ahead of time, buy-in for that and the whole thing, and a couple nights or 2-3 nights at a hotel driving back and forth, it's pretty pricey trips. So
Right.
I would love to go and just go, but to some of these.
But that particular one, if you go, you're going for more than just a couple of days, because I'm sure you're going to want to spend some time at Crater Diamonds.
Yes. Now, Jason was saying there was an entire bag of silver coins that didn't get planted on Saturday or Sunday. Barb, you're right. $300 not happening.
That's
well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to give Alan and John Ramoska a pat on their back. They worked that hunt. Everything goes in. I've seen it 3 times. This was their 4th hunt.
Right. Total transparency.
Total transparency, and they do an excellent job at that. So that hunt and the DTH hunt and I&I hunts have been very good with making sure the prizes that came in went out, the coins. We try to give good value in the ground, and some guys come out, I only got a few, and then you're looking at 2 guys that have 100 types of hunts, and they're sitting there with handfuls. So
right, yeah, they got double handfuls of coins. But and you know what? I mean, I know that there were some complaints about some people had quite a number of prize tokens where other people didn't have any or not very many at Treasure Fest. But the reality of the matter is nothing's ever a guarantee, and you're going to have that at any hunt. There are some people that is specifically what they do. They go to these seated events and they cherry pick for the prize tokens.
Well,
and they're very good at it.
Right. We used to have the I&I hunt at Alanawick Park in Hampton. And then it turned over to CVRR, Cedar Valley's club, had that hunt there. And there was a club out of Peoria, that's all they did was travel seated hunts.
Right. Competition hunters, basically.
Competition hunters. And they'd come through there. It was, oh my God. I mean, they were fast.
Yep. And fast and furious, and they just vacuum up everything in their wake.
Yeah. So to even that out a bit, the club was only putting out dimes, quarters, and halves, all, silver. I said, why aren't we putting out buffalo nickels, Indian head pennies, wheat pennies, that kind of stuff? I go, why you do that? I said, is this all you find when you hunt is silver? No.
Yep. Adds a bit of reality to it, and it throws
reality. Throw some silver rings, all kinds of stuff out there. Well, what it does when you've got that much, those speed hunters, and when you're going speed, they aren't looking at numbers. They're getting a tone, they're stopping, they're hitting it. And
right.
Yeah, so it slowed it down, and we started to see people having kind of a more equal amounts.
Right.
And then we varied the prize tokens from year to year, and what type of metal, size, whatever. We tried to vary it. It used to always be a hammered penny with a number on it.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say is I don't know how Treasure Fest has done their prize tokens in the past. I don't know. Maybe they use the same prize tokens over and over, and that gives these competition hunters a chance to really hone their skill and look for that specific metal composition.
Right.
Where if you change them up every year, it keeps them off their game a little bit. Somebody's got to find one first for them to get a read on it. Then they can start looking for them.
Right. And Shelly's in. Hi, Shelly. And she's saying that's why there will be no silver in the ground at Dig It Dude. Phil,
Right.
it's not about the haul, more about the fun. That's why when we ran stuff, I worked very hard to get a lot of detectors as prizes and a token in the field for a detector, and then the change and the silver and the Sacagawea dollars. They had their dollar hunt. They did that, and then there would be tokens for silver dollars. Not in the silver wasn't in the field. So,
Well, and especially now at $33 an ounce, you'd hate to leave silver coins out there that you've paid good money for
right.
and nobody recovered.
Shelley says the farm owner is taping 2 $100 bills to square nails. Oh boy.
That'll teach them.
Yeah.
And I've seen some group hunts, where instead of using a token, they'll use different colored pull tabs.
Yes. We used to paint pennies and then changed it to pennies and nickels, and then actually put the Mine Lab rounds out, and they were an iron base.
Oh yeah, that'll throw them off.
And we always had one or two there people could test on their machines, so nobody could say my machine didn't pick it up. Well, we left you pieces out there to test. Everybody was told. It was right in the stuff. So
right.
Yep. So there's all different ways of doing it, right or wrong. The wrong way to do it is not getting everything into the field.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And Jason said the Missouri Pro-Am hunt was done right. They guaranteed that everyone in any given paid hunt got to walk into their first target and waited until the hunt start to dig it. And everybody got a prize.
Right. That way everybody at least found something.
The Florida hunts used to do 2 pre-hunts. Bang, the gun goes off. You go in until you got your target. You walked out, went over to the prize booth, and it was generally Garrett, mine, nice stuff. You turn it in, and they hand you a prize. No other coins much were out there, but it was a warm-up hunt, and they did 2 of them, and that was kind of fun.
Right. And everybody has their own, I don't know, particular way of doing it, seeding the field, or even their particular way of starting the hunt off, like Jason was saying, let everybody go in and at least get on their first signal, but don't dig it until it starts.
Right.
Way everybody at least feels like they got a little something.
Yeah.
But there again, like I said, you see some of these people go to hunts and they find handfuls of silver or handfuls of price tokens. There's a reason that they do that. I mean, that's what they're specifically there to do. They're goal oriented, and they're in many cases very good at what they do, unfortunately.
Yep. So it's always up to the administrators of the hunt master, whatever you want to get it set up, and then follow that as you wrote it up, and make sure the whole thing's to have fun. And
right.
That's the whole thing.
If you have a high registration fee and people go in and they feel like they got a low return, well, I mean, yes, granted, there are some people out there that they're just going to complain to complain. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. You can't make everybody happy.
Right. Other people, though, if they pay $300 for a hunt and they walk out with a couple of rosies, they're probably not going to be very happy.
Right.
And it's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. I mean, it's not fair, but then again, neither is life.
Hey, Neo Geo's in.
Hey, there you go, waving a hand from the West Coast.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Neo.
So,
Old enough, I'll bet he's out trying to find some.
I'll bet. Hitting the gold trail, huh, Neil?
Whether it's in the form of jewelry or nugget or whatever, I mean,
Gold's gold, man.
of the show, gold is gold. That's just like silver. I'll take it in any way, shape, or form. I'm not biased. I'm not prejudiced against it. I'll take it any way I can get it.
And we got Digging with Amber in. We got a good mix tonight. And again, for you guys just coming in, Bill Hayes hit a bucket lister. He got himself a cut piece of 8.
Yep. And after the show, I'll add a photo of that to the thumbnail of the video.
Cool.
It doesn't do us much good.
Phil's checking out on us. He says he's old and going to bed.
Now, wait, which Bill?
Bortner.
Oh, Phil.
Yeah, Phil. Not the Bills. The Bills are in the house.
Well, Phil's been working pretty hard.
Yep.
I don't think he's necessarily real happy about it, but he's been working pretty hard.
Yep. RH says he got the piece with that, thankfully, 1700s. So, been cool.
Nice.
Yeah, tell him, will you, buddy? Night, old man. All right.
And like I told Ohio Relic Hunter, he was excited for Bill. And I told him, I said, see, and that's part of the fun of it. You may not have found it, but you were excited to see Bill Hayes find it. And you were there to share in the experience.
I mean, in England this year, John was, he carries his harmonica and you'll hear him playing a tune while he's walking along. So all of a sudden I hear him playing a tune and he's got his camera up and he's playing I Found My Gold. He had a nice little song all going, man. He's sitting there and I thought, and I'm about 20 yards from him. Started walking toward him. I said, what do you got? He said, look at this. And he handed me that hammered gold coin.
See, now, how is that? He's got it down. He's even got music to go with his happy dance.
He's a musician. He's got a group, travels around. I'm all over the Michigan area. Pretty cool dude. And he was just like, and I was all with him, man. He made a hell of a find. And I'm with you guys when you make those good bucket listers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
my goal is if I sell somebody a detector, I want them to do better than me. I want them to succeed.
Right, because that makes them a happy camper. That makes them a happy customer. And if they're a happy customer, chances are good they're a return customer.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Shannon said she saw the video with that. I filmed him doing it. I posted one of them up. It's pretty cool. And we've had several others on that trip get a stater, and they were just in seventh heaven. So no goal for me this trip. you go again.
Well, and there again, nothing's ever a guarantee. Some trips you find it, some trips you don't. There's always the next one.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows? Maybe England might have been a little dry for you, but
It was dry. No doubt. Well, it was like what we have here right now. It was that dry.
well, I mean, as far as no gold,
Quite that much in England.
right? Yeah, I mean, as far as no gold, but maybe that'll return for you. It'll come back to you in Alaska, and you'll have a banner trip this time.
Tim's been on the hot hand with gold this year. I've had it before where I've been hot hand with gold in a year, and all of a sudden you dry up. And the same way with silver. Silver, all of a sudden, man, you're just hitting it and everything's going good, and it stops. What did I do wrong? Nothing.
Right? Yeah, you're going, what happened here? I mean, I was going out every time I went out, I was getting a piece of silver or 2 or 3 or something like that. And now 3 or 4 times.
I've still got guys that have never found more than $1, and I found 4 in this past year and a half. But I had a specific spot that I stumbled into. I haven't found any since, but that area had them.
A location with a particular history, and that plays a lot into it too. I mean, you can't just, sure, some people go wandering around aimlessly and stumble on one.
Yep.
But usually, more often than not, it's because they've done their research.
So that was just a pure fluke. I ran into it, and the lady next door explained it to me why I was getting what I was getting. And then all of a sudden, I got to go back there. And I worked that particular area where the customers were calling, and more came up.
There you go.
Well, that's why Bill needs to get back in that field some more, or around that house, not the field site.
Right. He needs to get back to where he was, plain and simple, point blank.
Mm-hmm.
Because you cool. Just never know. You found one, maybe it's got a friend.
No, Shannon says she's got a ring recovery to do this weekend coming. Good. Hopefully you get it. Yeah.
Well, hopefully she has some success with that. She'll have to keep us posted.
Right. And Amber is asking if anybody is going to Gypsy's birthday bash. Is that out there with Butch Holcomb do that?
Yeah, that's the American Digger Gypsy Jules birthday bash hunt.
No.
I want to say Gypsy's hunt is Friday, American Digger's hunt is Saturday.
Yeah.
If they look back in the episodes, we had them on while you were in England and covered that. I believe the flyer is the thumbnail on that episode, and they cover everything in there as far as what they're putting out, how things will be done, different things like that. As far as whether or not anybody's going that's in the chat, I'm not sure. I do know that there has been a lot of activity on that episode, but I don't know of any specifics as to who is attending or planning to attend.
Right. Right. Well, buddy, I'll tell you what. Congrats to Emery out there for getting his first seated dime.
That's one to be proud of for sure.
Bill getting his cut piece of 8, true piece of 8. That's cool too. Keep digging them up, folks. Good luck on that ring recovery. hopefully they get that accomplished. And I'm going to go out and maybe hunt in the morning. And they're predicting some pretty good rain here on tomorrow night and Friday. So hopefully we'll get an inch or two. That would help a lot.
Well, sadly to say for me, well, not necessarily sadly, but I'll be tied up because I've got more smoking to do.
Meat, that is.
Right.
Okay. All right, my man.
Pork chops and pork
He was
loins.
making me hungry, and I just ate supper. He was doing smoked pork chop. He was doing smoked loin wrapped in bacon. And I'm thinking, man, that sounded real good.
Oh, yeah. Tomorrow, I think it's 2 hams, and then I've still got a turkey to do, and a turkey breast, and somewhere in the mix, I still got to fit in that cold smoking of the cheese. I was going to do that Sunday, but it got a little warmer here than anticipated, so I decided to hold off for cooler weather.
Right. So, well, anyway, take care. Thanks for having me on. You guys keep digging up that neat stuff, because Josh and I love to hear about that. We love to talk you up. You're our friends. We love it when you're succeeding. So keep doing it. Get out there and work at it.
Right.
Let us know how you're doing with it. Maybe tomorrow I'll find something. I'll do a go live over there on Facebook, and you'll get to see it.
There you go.
We can always hope. Night all. Thanks, Josh.
Yep. We'll see you, Chuck.
See you, buddy.
So, and Chuck's right. I mean, to reiterate what he said, when I heard what Bill had found, I was just absolutely thrilled to hear that he had made that find. Just like with Emery, congratulations to you as well. Absolutely. I mean, I love hearing stories like that. I love hearing people make those good finds in the field. I mean, sure, don't get me wrong, I like to find the good stuff too, but hey, if I can't get out there and find it right now, hopefully one of you are. That's all I can say. And unfortunately, I've been so tied up with smoking meat lately that, well, I haven't even really got the chance to get any pictures to post up of it. And I had planned on trying to get a photo of that pork loin, but we were running up to airtime, and, well, suffice to say, I didn't get a photo of that either. But who knows? Maybe tomorrow I can get a couple of photos, or the next time, something like that. We'll see. I mean, there are some foods coming up that will be smoked that we'll definitely make sure to get photos of it. Simply because of the fact that, well, they're just interesting. And so tasty. So good to eat. Speaking of which, I've been so busy at the smoker, I haven't had the chance to eat. So I'm out of here too. I gotta find some grub. I'm making myself hungry. Have a wonderful evening, folks. We're out of here.
We sure are glad you found us here tonight. Thanks for dropping by and joining in. If you like metal detecting, treasure hunting, gold prospecting, or even entertaining discussion, check us out Wednesdays and Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern, on your favorite podcast distribution services.